Hello and welcome back to On The Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode as we take on Atletico Madrid in both legs of the Champions League first knockout round. That's right, unfortunately we didn't manage to draw one of the Italian teams. That's what we really wanted to do, try and knock the Italian teams out and hopefully we could then go ahead of them in coefficient points. It's not quite worked out like that, but the draw overall I think is pretty decent. Anyway, welcome back, hope you're all okay. Make sure you do drop a like on today's video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're around here and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. So it's been a good 2 months in game since you guys were last here and a lot has gone on, but also a lot hasn't gone on. We've gone through the January transfer window where, of course, we weren't going to make any signings, but 3 players have joined us who are waiting until January to get to the club. The first one you'll be very familiar with. I showed you to him last episode. Vangelis Alexandris, which is just one of the best names ever, pretty much. He joins the team to be a new attacking midfielder, hopefully for the future. Looks very good. You should remember that we signed Sandri in the transfer special. He comes in to be like a backup centre mid for us. Looks really good. 29 years old, so comes in as the oldest player in the team, but is solid and should be a good tutor for some of our young players, such as Evangelist, for example. And then the one you might not remember, and I'll forgive you for it because I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot about this guy as well. Reyes de Souza, we signed him a few years ago as like a 16-year-old, and he's finally come to the club now that he's turned 18 years old. He is a right back who looks very good, I must say. I'm a big fan of the technicals for such a, the mentals for such a young age. Technicals are decent too. They could improve a little bit for my liking, but I'm very impressed with the mentals for his age, and of course physicals will also improve. So Reyes de Souza joins us we signed him for £4.8 million from River. I think we must have signed him like 2 or 3 years ago and I've just completely forgotten about it. But he came through on the 1st of January and I was kind of like, I think I sort of remember that memory a little bit. So although we didn't actually sign anyone ourselves in January, some players have joined us. And of course, talking of transfer windows, in real life today in the UK, it is deadline day, which is very exciting. And of course, you can keep up to date with all of the deadline news and moves on the One Football app, the sponsors of today's video. It's actually so good for keeping up with all of the transfers. You can go on a little transfers tab, you can see all the top transfers from across the window, but also all the transfers. If you want to get all the information from every single transfer, you can literally go through and see all of them, including contract renewals, loan moves, everything like that. You can also follow your favourite teams to keep up to date with all of their transfer stuff and get some notifications come through whenever your club makes a move. It's the best app out there that I use for football, so make sure you do download it for free from the top line of the description. I would massively appreciate it. So let's talk results since you were last here. I won't go through them all individually because you were last here for the Celtic and Monaco game, and as you can see, lots of games have been played since then. The main thing is we've won them all, which is standard, I suppose, nowadays. I guess the standout moment was that 9-0 away to Livingston. Varela getting 4 goals in that game. That was a pretty good performance just after Christmas, as you can see there. Obviously, we do have that one blemish on our record again, that 0-0 draw we had with Hearts a few months ago in game now. That was really annoying to get that draw. Looks like we might be on for another 32 wins from 33 games. But what you can see is 106 goals scored, which is incredibly impressive, but I'm more impressed about the assists. If we look at the goals, Sebastian Varela right up there with 32, Jan Cavalcanti with 30. I think both of them could hit the 50 mark this season. What I am more impressed about though, at least I think, is Jens Nieve here. As you can see, he's 3rd in the goals scored with 17, but has also got 23 assists so far this season, leading to a combined total of 40 goal contributions, just 2 behind Jan Cavalcanti and 4 ahead of Sebastian Varela. He is lighting up the league and the Champions League this season. Did not expect him to come in and make such a big impact, but he has done, and he's absolutely incredible. He's absolutely just surpassed Lassialien. I did not expect that at all. I thought Lassialien would come in to be class, but Jens Nieve just is unstoppable. He's got the best average rating, as you can see, 8.34. He is just sublime. And the bad thing is, I do feel bad for Lassialien because we sort it by assists. Lassialien has the 2nd most amount of assists, 16 assists from 9 starts and 7 substitute appearances. So if you add up his assists per 90 minutes, he's getting like an assist per, I don't know, call it every 70 minutes or so. So it's not like Lacialian's played badly. He's played very, very well. It's just that Jens Nieve has just taken me by surprise, really. Maybe we should be playing Lacialian a little bit more in the second half of the season, but, you know, he's not our player, technically. He's Man United's player, so it would be better to play Jens Nieve, and that's kind of been my philosophy this season with it. Anyway, enough talking about our players. Let's get into the first game against Atletico Madrid. We are playing them today, and Atletico, it's a pretty tough draw, I must say, because Atletico are probably the best team in Spain. They keep winning La Liga the most out of them, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Speaking of Barcelona, they are taking on Celtic. So it's a bit of a Scotland versus Spain episode today. Obviously, we wanted the Italian team, but I think Dortmund could do a job against AC Milan, and I hope that Man City managed to batter Lazio. Fingers crossed we see them drop out. Another interesting one is Chelsea taking on PSG. Chelsea, we know, are pretty decent. They've done well in European football recently. So if they can knock the only French team out, that would be brilliant for us. In terms of the Europa League, Hibs won their group, so they go straight through to the second knockout round. But Rangers, who got knocked out of the Champions League, they're taking on Sporting in the first knockout rounds of the Europa League. So fingers crossed they get a result there. Our team is looking like this. Peter starts in goal with a backline of Van Steen, who's just come back from an injury at a very convenient time, because as he came back from injury, where he's down, Jem Finley picked up an injury. So Jem Finley's out for 5 to 6 weeks with a lower back stress fracture, whatever that is. Sounds like a made-up thing to me. That means Van Steen is back now, ready to play. Not quite match sharp, but he's hopefully going to get some decent game for us. Demancic, Sandro and de Klerk make up the rest of that back line. Tam Lumper also just coming back from an injury. He comes in as the deep line playmaker today alongside Jordan Ford. Bryce Delaney starts on the left, Nieve on the right, Jan Cavalcanti in the attacking midfield position with Sebastian Varela leading the line. Right, kickoff is upon us here today, looking for a very positive result as we play away in Madrid, as Madrid look to bring the ball forward early on in this game. Although they are playing it around the defence, we are putting some good pressure on their team as it goes back to their keeper several times here. Will they ever get the ball out of defence? They try to, but it goes straight to Demancic, who wins it and plays it into Van Steen. We look to come down through in the centre of the pitch, playing out wide to Van Steen, who can put a ball into the middle, into Jan Cavalcanti, tackled on the edge of the 6-yard area, and Atletico Madrid looking to bring it out, actually. They're looking quite dangerous, so they come to the edge of our penalty area, looking to put the cross in the middle. It hits the crossbar, and I feel like it's one of those highlights where actually there was no danger whatsoever, but it hit a crossbar, so it's got to go down as a key highlight. I guess technically annoying for us, Man City have just had a man sent off against Lazio. We want the Italian teams to be losing, and that's not going to help Man City getting a man sent off there. So come on, Man City, score some goals, just like Bryce Delaney has done there. Alexandro flicking on the corner onto Bryce Delaney, and now I can't talk. What's happened to my voice here? I can't, what has happened? Big cough and a swig of water, and I think I'm okay. Also, in good news, I've just seen that Chelsea have gone 2-0 up against PSG, so that could be really good for us if PSG get knocked out nice and early in this Champions League. It would really help us cement our place ahead of them in the coefficient points, which would be fantastic. Nieve coming forward then for us once again, on the edge of the area. Can he turn provider this time? Almost. Sebastian Varela just gets enough on the ball to turn it into the path of Jordan Ford, who puts it into the back of what was almost an empty net at that point. The keeper was far too bothered by what was going on at the near post. Easier for Jordan Ford to score than to miss this opportunity. If he'd missed that, I would have been cross. So there we go, looking nice at 2-0 up as Bryce Delaney gets injured. Okay, Le Cruz Onyekuru, who's not played for a little while actually, I must say. How bad is Bryce Delaney's injury? Potential foot injury. Could be like an ankle sprain. It could be a broken foot. That would not be great. However, we've scored another goal, which is fantastic. Jan Cavalcanti this time getting his 31st of the season just before half-time. Okay, so I don't want to jinx anything, but things are looking good. PSG losing. As I say that, they score. I've jinxed it, haven't I? I've really jinxed it. But Celtic are currently winning 1-0 against Barcelona. Just seen that one pop up as well. So if they can just hold on to that win over 2 legs, that would be superb as Jens Nieve nearly scoring another fantastic free kick there. He's got plenty of free kicks this season. We've really managed to capitalise from those dead ball situations by bringing him into the team. I've just realised as well, it was an injury for the Man City player, not a red card, but they actually have subsequently got a red card as well. So it's still not looking very good for Man City as they're 1-0 down to Lazio. Hopefully they can turn it around in the second leg. As in the second half of this game, well, it looks like Atletico are trying to just get a goal back. They need to get back in this game. Of course, we now have 3 away goals in this tie, which is not good for Atletico Madrid. And with little time remaining in this game, they are fighting to try and get something out of it. But our defence is holding up beautifully. We've only conceded 7 goals in the league this season. Of course, the league is very different to the Champions League, but we have a rock-solid defence, which is impenetrable. We don't normally concede. We don't know how to concede. We definitely know how to score, though. Varela with his 33rd of the season. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this game is dead and buried. We are going through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Even though we've got another leg to go, I am very confident in our abilities right now. Celtic currently now drawing with Barcelona. PSG have also brought it back to 2-2 against Chelsea, so I did maybe jinx things a little earlier by talking about it. Next time, I just won't talk about it. I'll just forget to mention it and pretend nothing's happening in those games. I was about to say something else then. I won't say, but I thought it. Maybe thinking it is as bad as saying it. I'll mention it when this game finishes. But one final chance for Atletico to try and get something out of this game from the corner. Peter collects it nicely, and with about 35 seconds or so to go in this game, I don't think we're going to see anything else from this one in particular. This is just going to be the closing highlights of the game. But a very thoroughly professional performance from us out here today. Really pleased with how we've played. We've just dominated proceedings, and this is exactly what we need to do week in, week out if we want to be winning the Champions League again. So there we go, confirmation of our 4-0 win. Barca out of nowhere beat Celtic 3-1. Oh, that's so annoying. Come on, Celtic, sort it out. PSG draw with Chelsea, and then Lazio end up beating Man City 2-0. Bryce Delaney pulled some ankle ligaments, only out for a week or so. That's not too bad. We can obviously rotate those players around. Now, the thing I said I'm going to say something and then I'm going to stop myself because I don't want to jinx anything, but I might have thought it, and we'll see now. How did Rangers get on? I was about to mention Rangers. I'm going to say, well, I've not mentioned Rangers. Maybe they've scored loads of goals. Rangers won 1-0. So yeah, not mentioning a team works. I jinx it if I talk about them. So I don't know, I'll stop talking about them now. Anyway, I'm going to go and play a few of these league games off camera because they're a bit boring. We'll come back for the second Atletico game in a moment's time. Right, so here we are, back for the second legs, and well, things haven't quite gone to plan. We won't talk about the Champions League stuff because we know if we talk about it, we jinx it. But what I did forget is that, of course, in the Europa League, there's a first knockout round and a second knockout round before you get to the quarterfinals. So I didn't really think about Rangers, and of course Rangers have got themselves knocked out of the Europa League. They lost on penalties to Sporting, as you can see here. They played off camera, or in between the two, you know what I'm trying to say basically. But they lost on penalties, so that's Rangers, who I thought were going to go on to win this thing, out. Very frustrating. Hopefully Hibs, who are in the second knockout round, will do us a favour, and hopefully they beat Juventus, which I don't think they'll do, if I'm honest with you. So things are not looking good for Scotland this season, I'll say that. But whilst we play our second leg, they're playing their first leg. It's a bit confusing how it's all worked out. Also, obviously, in between these two Atletico games, we played 5 games and won all of them, which was great. Capped off, by the way, with a superb performance from Jens Neve, scoring 4 goals inside of 28 minutes against St Mirren. So, of course, that's why he is starting today, as well as the rest of the team that beat Atletico Madrid 4-0 just a few moments ago. No need to change that sort of top 11 that we've got. Let's stick with it and go into the game. So, we need lots of things going in our favour today, but we won't talk about it because we jinx it if we talk about it. We're just going to focus on our game instead, which, I mean, barring any sort of catastrophe, we have already gone through and qualified for the quarterfinals. That goal, unfortunately, offside, but it's not necessary. We don't need it. We're already 4-0 up. Just how close was that offside decision? I mean, they're not going to tell me, apparently. I can't. I'm not allowed to know. All right, fair enough. I'm going to assume it was offside because I thought it was when I watched the actual highlights, but no actual confirmation. Again, it's just UEFA wanting to get us down, but not even showing us the offsides nowadays. They just don't want me to know. It's annoying. Either way, here come Atletico, the cheating so-and-sos, because obviously it probably wasn't offside at all, was it? They probably just bribed the referee to make it offside to give them the best chance possible. Well, Atletico Madrid, we're going to show you that we can score goals without being offside by making you... Oh, not an own goal. I thought it was an own goal there. It goes down as Jan Cavalcanti's goal. Let's watch this one back. Because I'm pretty sure Bryce Delaney takes the shot. It gets saved and it came off their defender called like Alavio. It looks like it did. Oliveira. I think it just comes off Jan Cavalcanti instead. They're next to each other, basically. But you can see the confusion. Either way, we're winning, which is very nice. Hopefully, that's going to be, the catalyst for everything else going in our favour. I'll let you look at the results. I'm not going to look at them. I don't want to know what's going on. But it's not looking good. I mean, at this rate, Varela scores a great goal. Offside again? Not having this. I mean, literally, Atletico must be paying off UEFA at this stage. Will we get an actual replay this time around? Oh, we do this time. Okay, they want to demonstrate that's not offside. That's not offside. You hate to see it. Alright, I don't think avoiding talking about it is a jinx. Or not jinxing it. Because we've not spoken about Celtic and we're now 3-0 down. Which makes them 6-1 down on aggregate. They now need to score 5 goals. Come on, Celtic, get 5 in the second half, please. If you could do that, that would be great. Something tells me you won't do that, though. And that would mean it's just us and Hibs left in European football. And Hibs are currently probably being battered by Juventus, right? So, it's not a good year for Champions League football. Not a good year for just Scottish football in general in Europe. It might mean we slip back down below PSG. And when I say PSG, I mean France. Especially with PSG beating Chelsea 2-0. That's not great. Lazio are also beat... Oh, this is just not going well. Why do bad things happen to good people? I mean, if we can smash Atletico 5-0 on aggregates, then surely Celtic can do a better job against a weaker Barcelona. Maybe that's not how it works. I don't know. It's just annoying because we made some real progress last season and I feel like it's all been undone this season with just poor results from the other clubs in Europe. As a consequence, I think we will drop back down in the coefficient rankings for like next season, essentially, which is a bit frustrating. Because this season, obviously, we've got the 2 Europa League places now as opposed to the 1 Europa League place. But if we drop behind France again, next season we'll drop back down to just the 1 Europa League spot, and then it makes it more difficult for us to then build the coefficient points, essentially. So it's a real battle. We really need to hold on to that 5th place in the European coefficients, but given the results going on around us right now, I don't know if that's going to happen. Chelsea could offer us a lifeline if they just score some more goals. I mean, Celtic have pulled one back, but Barca scored another one as well, and another one after that as well. Okay, great. And another one as well. Right. I'll just stop talking. Barcelona just absolutely battered Celtic there. We played well. We won our game. But that's another Scottish team out of Europe. By looks of things, Milan have been knocked out, though, which is good. Lazio have gone through, though, against Man City, which is not ideal for us. I mean, I guess technically we are now drawing with France and Italy in terms of coefficient points from the Champions League, but when you drop down into the Europa League and you see that Juventus have just beaten Hearts 4-0, yep, that's not good. Marseille are beating Hoffenheim as well. St Etienne are beating, or drawing with Roma. Hopefully Hoffenheim and Roma turn that around. Dropping down to the Europa Conference League, what's gone on there in terms of French teams? Nice are still in it, aren't they? No Italian teams, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're pretty much the only Scottish team now left in Europe. And our coefficient points are lagging massively now behind France. Nearly 2 points off them, with 10 points off Italy, 13 points off Germany. It's a poor year for Scottish football. Now, potentially, it could still all turn around. It could all still turn around potentially. but I don't think it will. We could win the Champions League, but you know, if PSG are in the final against us, for example, they're going to get just as much coefficient points, pretty much, aren't they? They'll still. This is such an annoying season. The draw is not for a little while though, because of course the other European fixtures have to take place before we get to that draw. So tomorrow's episode, we will find out who we're playing in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, and hopefully find a bit of a route to the final, and hopefully we'll see a bit of silver lining in the coefficient points at some points. So thank you ever so much for watching today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and of course leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.